Hello and welcome to our Stylight webinar today. Please give us a short feedback if you can hear us properly. Someone's typing. Elias, hi. Yes, loud and clear. That's good to know. Okay, our topic today is the mobile template in EGroupware 16.1. Hi, Eric. Someone else? Yeah, and our first question is, where are you from today? Perhaps you can write in our chat. Hi, Peter. Eric is typing. Italy. So probably there's not so much rain as we have now. Hungary. Hi. Yeah. Yeah, okay, good to know. I'm Eva Wertheimer and I'm here with Birgit Becker from our Stylight support team. Hi, Birgit.
Hi, Eva. Hi, guys. I'm happy that we again meet for 16.1 and for the mobile template today to show you more in detail how you can access eGroupware with a mobile device.
Yeah, today we'd like to show you how to work mobile without sync. We'll show the optimization for mobile and small devices and how to access all your data without any installation before. And we will talk about the main differences to the desktop version.
Yeah, so in general, we invite you, if you have at any point questions, just ask your questions in the chat and we are happy to address them directly.
We also record this webinar, so if you come later or you don't have enough time to watch it, then you can watch it later, and we'll send a link via our email newsletter.
Yeah. So what are the main topics of that webinar? So we want to talk about what is that color codes for applications? How do we navigate with our smartphones within eGroupware? What's about application menu and top menu? I'm able to change settings or change my password or whatever. What's behind the avatar? How does swipe gestures work, or for what does it work? How to create new entries or hide and show the application menus? I'm able to use favorites or the context menu. So what's possible with my phone with eGroupware mobile template?
Yeah, I'll now switch to Birgit's screen.
Yeah, so we are now looking with TeamViewer on my mobile phone, which is an Android phone. And you now see that there is no URL displayed. And that's what we recommend for Android devices. You can access it with a browser and then store the link on your home screen. And if you then click from your home screen on the URL, it will open in that compact mode, not displaying the URL. As soon as you try to reach it with an iPhone or iPad, so an Apple device, we strongly recommend to not store it on your home screen, because it will make problems accessing the data, filling in forms and all these things. So there's a big difference between different devices, different browsers, if you should store it on your home screen or not.
But in general, you can use it on every mobile screen.
Yeah, at least on every newer mobile phone with new browsers, it should be possible to use it. And you will see we have a responsive design, which means switching my phone from portrait to landscape is working. On the login screen, we have it always in landscape mode, and you can just log in then.
We have one question from Elias: Chrome or default device browser on latest Android?
You can on Android also use the latest Android browser. It works pretty well, and it could be even a bit faster than the Chrome. That was our experiences on the Samsung devices. So feel free to try it out. And if something isn't working, I would always say go back to Chrome, because Chrome is what we tested mostly on our Android phones. On iOS devices, it doesn't make a big difference, because it doesn't matter if you use on an iOS, a Chrome or a Safari, because the engine on the iPhone is always the same. So it falls back to something similar.
You already logged in now, and that application is now?
Yeah, so that's now the address book, and I'm clicking on the left side menu point to get to my side menu, because we want to start with the side menu. And I've talked at the very beginning about color codes, and you've seen address book is blue, and now clicking on the dotted here on top, I remove the application menu, and you see better now the color code what we have on the different applications. So we decided to have for each application an own color, which is fixed. So address book is blue, mail is some kind of
light blue.
Yeah, light blue, calendar red, infolog orange, some green on project manager, resources, tracking system, yellow on file manager, and so on. So one color per application, and this color is displayed as well here in the side menu, where you navigate between the different applications, as on the application itself, on the top menu or on the plus button. We will see it when we look deeper into. What I like to start first showing how to navigate between the applications, switching on and off the app menus. So clicking now on the app icon in the top shows the app menu of address book. Clicking again on it, hiding, and I can switch pretty easily to another application. If I want to log out, clicking on the logout button for sure, similar to what you know on EGroupware. And you see on the right hand side my avatar, which means that's the picture which is related to my account, and the photo I uploaded there. And clicking on the avatar offers you more opportunities, what you know from EGroupware, from the top menu. So you can change preferences. You have access to the access permissions. You may change categories, or if you have the permission to change your password, the link would also show up here on that part. Clicking a second time on the avatar removes that preferences things. Okay, I'll now switch to address book. So because I already selected address book, I just close the side menu, and it shows my address book list, and you see it's dark blue on the top, and also the plus button on the right corner down is also blue. So that's a color code which is behind the applications. If you like to search for something, you can simply click on the search icon, and it opens a dialog where you're able to search. So for example, searching for some text, selecting the text, again run into the situation that there is no entry found. So this similar could happen in the desktop version for sure if my filter doesn't match. So I reset the search by clicking on the cross. It resets the search. Clicking a second time on it, close the search.
And how to disable a filter now, if you want to get rid of it?
Yeah, the easiest way is I'm clicking on my favorites, which is also available and similar to what you have on your desktop, and I'm just clicking no filters.
Okay, so then I can search again.
Now I can search again, clicking onto it, searching for my search item I have here, and open it and removing my enter keys. You now see the according entries to my search string, and again to get rid of it, removing the search item, clicking on the cross, so I'm able to search for something else, or clicking a second time on it opens or close the search and shows again my top menu. And so I can easily switch and use the favorites, what we are used to now from already 14.3, but now it's also available on our mobile devices. So clicking easily on team research, for example, to get to my list of team members which are related to that one, or clicking on project partners to see which is related to that one, offers me whatever I have also or already used from my desktop version.
We had one question before, and it was, are those favorites the same favorites as I have them on my desktop version?
Yeah, it's a similar thing. It's just if you have a favorite for a CRM view, this will not work on your mobile phone, because the CRM view shows you the contacts and the info-log entries, which is just a question of the available space. And so say we disabled and not making the CRM view available. If you search something, or if you need to go to a CRM view, go to info-log and search it there, or go to your tracker system and search it there. But everything else is available. And we also recommend, if you want to create a new favorite, we generally allow it to create similar to what we do on the desktop. But I think it's more comfortable if you create the favorites you need on your desktop version and then easily just use it on your mobile phone. But if you want to create something, so for example, you have to do something in a specific address book, I can easily switch my filters here to, for example, personal contacts or all address books. And also here are my distribution lists, so I can easily switch to something what I like to use by using the filter criteria, what I know of that application.
If you have any questions, just feel free to ask them in our chat. If no, we will go on with the plus button.
Yeah, so the plus button will always open a new entry. I just like to show before how it looks, or how do I get the detailed information of a contact. So what we done for address book, for example, the other applications will be similar, is we show a reduced amount of information on the mobile device, which is more or less similar what you see if you look on your contacts app on your mobile phone. So we show the name of the organization and we show the contact itself and we show the picture. But as soon as I click on a contact, it just shows me the detailed information of that contact, and I can simply move down or up. And I also can click on the detailed tabs to see, for example, the information which belongs to the organization. Clicking a second time on it, close it. And switching my mobile phone shows the same information in landscape or in portrait mode. So that's what we call responsive. As soon as you switch your phone, it will use the whole space what is available. And we are going, if you have a smaller phone, the most things should fit on your phone. And if you use a bigger one, it's just more comfortable because the columns are stretching. As soon as I want to know more information about that contact or add some information to it, I just click here on the edit, which then opens the same dialog in edit mode, and I can fill in all information. You see, it takes a bit longer to open it, but then all information are available, and I can fill, for example, job title into it, or I could add mobile number or email address or whatever, I could access easily the links and see if it's linked to an infolog entry, or if there have been some attachments, I can just click on it. Or also upload something. So clicking on the upload icon here opens the upload dialog of my device. So I could either create a photo with my camera or go to documents and select something and just upload it. So that's a similar thing like what we have on a desktop. It opens a native dialog from our device where we start from.
Yeah, we had this example some minutes ago, like you are an architect, you go to a construction site, you take some pictures, and then you can attach them to your entries.
Yeah, absolutely. So then you have the option either save it, or you go back if you don't have to save anything, and you're back in the view mode, and going again once back, I'm again in my list. And so similar thing, now creating new one, I'm just clicking on the plus. It opens again the same dialog we already seen, and I have the opportunity to just create new entry, just clicking away the keyboard. And also, and I think that's something which is specific for what we can do in EGroupware. I can easily now, while creating a new contact, decide where the contact should go to. Should it go into my personal address book, or should it be stored as something which goes into a group contact? So into my group business contacts, for example. If I have different kind of group folders, I could select on each of them. That's something what Sync doesn't allow us. So that's one of the differences, I think, what we have. So we have more information available with our mobile devices, and we have more chances to add something and more options to decide where to store them.
Yeah, now going back to portrait mode.
Yeah.
There's one more thing we wanted to talk about, and that's the context menu. If you select some contacts, how can you edit them?
Yeah, so editing is similar what we did now. So you select an entry, and if you want to use some context menu options, you have to select it. And what you now see is that there are swipe gestures. As Eva is selecting them now with her fingers on the mobile phone, you can't see what she's doing. So I'm just doing the similar thing with the mouse now that you see. So the swipe gesture, what we have for selecting an entry, is either from left to right or from right to left. So it either selects or deselects depending on the state which was there before. And if I now want to use my context menu, I have selected my contacts, and the right icon here on top goes for the context menu.
So and the right icon replaces a right click?
Yes, because there is no right click on the device. What you can do is clicking on the right icon, and then you can, for example, add categories or add it to a distribution list, send an email to the contacts, or that new thing what we have for the geolocation, using the some device for planning routes, so route planning. This is something what we have new in 16.1, and that can be used, and then it goes to whatever is configured, either Google Maps or whatever, to be used on the desktop version or on your mobile device.
In our German webinar that we had just 1 hour ago, some people were asking about more features, which applications are available on the mobile.
Yeah, so to answer that, I again go to the side menu, and you see now the applications what we have available. And so you don't get any new applications into where you don't have access to. So the permissions what you have been setting for your users, if they are able to address a address book or a calendar or infolog, it's the same. So if you don't have access, you can't reach it on a mobile phone. But as soon as you give them access to the application, and it's one of the applications which are taking part in that new designs in what we call internally eTemplate 2, you can access it easily with your mobile phone. So for example, as an admin, I could also switch on administration to be able to use it on the mobile phone, and then it will show also here as an application on my mobile phone.
It's only hidden now because the demo user Nicole Oster doesn't have the admin rights.
Yeah, either the demo user doesn't have the admin rights, or the application is, from an administrative perspective, not unable to be used on a mobile device. So can be different issues. But I think let's look deeper into another application to show more example how things are working, and how we can access different applications.
If you want, you can still write into our chat which applications you'd like to see or catch a glimpse of which app.
Yeah. So just picking mail now as the next thing. So showing mail here, you see directly on my mobile phone. That's an HTML mail, so HTML mails are working on my mobile phone. And if the picture is too big to be nicely displayed in landscape mode, I can also switch to portrait mode, and you will see just scrolling on the device works. And if I like to reply to an email, I'm just clicking on the top menu on the reply action, which is there, and it opens in reply mode, which means that it automatically sets the contact where the mail is from, and I can easily just write into my mail. And you see, as it is an HTML mail, and HTML editing is allowed also on my Android device, you see the possibilities what we have to change the font or the size or things like that. And I can just answer, thanks for the information. And just send it out. So just answering here by sending the mail out. And you get, similar to what you already know from EGroupware, there was a message on the bottom that it's successful sent. So that's also similar. In EGroupware, on the desktop version, you see the success messages, or if there are any error messages on the top menu, we just put it down on the mobile device to show it on the bottom.
We have one more difference to the use of sync if we use mail application on our mobile device, and that was the different email accounts that we can use.
Yeah. Again, I'm switching on the side menu because it shows it much better. So you now see here that I have more than one account already set up on my desktop. So I have the account of Nicole Oster, and I also have the office account being inserted in EGroupware in general. So for me, personal perspective, I would say I would always have my personal mail account also synced. So just an IMAP access, and so I have it available on my mobile device. But why should I have the office account or maybe 5 others also being synced on my mobile device if I can easily reach it and access it with a mobile template itself? So it's one time being set up in EGroupware, and then it's easy to be reached there. And so I can either switch for composing using the different identities I have, as well as seeing the mails which are on my account easily by just clicking and selecting, going back to my list. Okay, there seems to be no new messages in the inbox of that account, but again, switching back to my inbox. So you see it's pretty simple and similar to what we know from the desktop version.
So you get more information than if you only use the sync.
Yeah, I think there are good decisions you have to make. So what are things which make sense to sync, and what are issues which make sense to be used on a mobile device via mobile access? I think from my personal perspective, I would say I would always have a certain amount of entries being also synced. So contacts which I need more often and which I may also need if I'm not online, makes sense to have them synced on my mobile device.
Yeah.
But I don't need all 30,000 accounts or contacts what we have in our EGroupware being on my mobile device, because it doesn't help to select someone if I have so many entries there. So it's always good to know what makes sense to have there on sync. And if there is someone who I need to contact, it's now so easy to get to the contact information by just addressing it on the mobile access. And it's also a good strategy point policy point from the company, because you may, as an administrator or as a leader of the company, don't want that your employees all have access or synced all contacts, all business contacts on your mobile device, especially if you leave the company.
Or you only lose your phone.
Or you lose your phone. So that's a thing where you now have more options to make proper decisions as a company, what should be used for what purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, but again, as we're talking about the different applications, there are also some applications which you can't access via sync at all.
So this list shows lots of applications, much more than sync can handle.
Yeah, definitely. So for example, our tracking system, just clicking on the tracking system, and you see our tracking system also is now available on the mobile device. So I can easily just scroll down my list, and I can click on an entry and it shows the issues which are in, or I can edit it and add information. So also our My Stylet, which is already running on 16.1, you can now easily create a ticket or modify a ticket by just accessing it. Or if you use it to with your mobile to communicate with customers or things like that, even if your technician of yourself is out on a customer side, it's easy to fill in the information. Or as Eva was saying at the very beginning, you have to create a picture, attach it to some infolog or to a tracker entry. It's so easy now.
We have one more question from Elias. Could we get a glimpse of Project Manager too? I'm not sure if our demo user Nicole Oster has any projects, but sure, we can have a look.
Yeah. So at least know that I once created two projects. So at least there is a project manager and it's there. So you have the information which are related to the project. And as soon as I click on it, it goes also to the element list. But there's no element at the moment related to the project. So
Nicole is not so busy at the moment.
Nicole is not so busy. In general, we would like to create some more demo things also on a project manager, and have later on also webinar about using the project manager and the options what I have on the mobile devices or on the desktop version, how to use project manager, but at least what context menus options are available. So we have the context menus options which are on project manager available. So most things are enabled. We may have to look bit deeper into, because I don't think that a gunshot makes sense on the mobile device. but at least it's now still available on the context menu because we haven't disabled it yet.
There's one question from Eric. Can you make a timesheet entry to that project, please?
Yeah, clicking on the timesheet entry. For sure it takes a moment to create it, but then you see it shows already the title of my project. It shows me a start date. I can select a start time, which is the actual date by default, but I can also say, okay, use something else. If there is a status, okay, we don't have created a status, add a description.
Also the menu turned purple, so we are already in
timesheet. Yeah. So switching to the details, you see it's already selected that it's created on the project. You may add, if you have some price list or quantities or whatever you like to do, or add a category, you can just do it and you save it. And it is saved. And you go back and you see the timesheet entry. It's now we have an element on our project, on our element list. And I'm just not sure. I think we're just tracking status, not status and time. So it may not change anything in the list what we see here. But at least you can fully use what we have. And similar, you could also book. So if I'm talking about how we use maybe timesheet, you can book a timesheet on an info-log entry or on a tracker entry or on a calendar entry and directly select the project where it belongs to. If not, your info-log entry is already related to the project, then it gets automatically set. So absolutely similar to what we have on a desktop.
Are there more questions? Apparently no. If you have any questions, you can still write us an email, info@stylight.de. So if there are no more questions, we would talk about the topic of our next webinar, which will talk about release EGroupware 16.1.
So release in that case doesn't mean that we want to talk again about calendar or mobile device. We may talk also a bit about new features what we have with 16.1, but the main focus of the next webinar will be on the topic, how does it work with a release or with the update for our hosting customers as well as for installations customers. So am I switched automatically from 14.3 to 16.1 or on a specific date, or can I be switched tomorrow? Whatever question you have. Similar for our installations customers.
So
are the
mainly technical questions, yeah?
Technical questions which go into details about that update process we will address next time. And we also have our CEO, Andre Keller, being on board for the next webinar to answer these kind of questions. And if you have any questions or any specific questions, please send us an email and we can directly include them in our planning for the topics of that seminar.
Always good to know for us in advance if what's coming up, if there are questions about like how long can I use 14.3 or when can I change to 16.1. So yeah, it's a good opportunity for us to get your feedback before the webinar. Eric was typing? No more questions left. Okay, so we'll inform about our next webinar also in our newsletter and via Facebook and Twitter.
Yeah, and as always, you see that or will be able to reach the webinar later on also on our webpage.
Eric was asking, do you plan any change in licensing?
Not yet, so...
But that's something we can talk about in the webinar then.
We'll do so, yeah. So there will be a license for 16.1, similar like the license we have for 14.3, and more details we then will talk in the next webinar.
Someone's still typing? Next time then, yes, exactly.
Yeah, thanks for taking part, and thanks for interacting with us, asking questions. We are happy to answer whatever things you like to get addressed in a webinar. So
thanks, Birgit, for the nice presentation. Yeah, thanks to all of you. Perhaps we'll see each other in the next webinar then. Have a nice evening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.